This is Breakfast with Bill Turnbull and Susanna Reid.
The man behind the Apple brand, Steve Jobs, has died.
His vision made Apple one of the world's most valuable companies, thanks to products like the iMac, the iPod and the iPhone.
Good morning, it's Thursday the 6th of October.
Also ahead this morning, more details from the BBC on how it plans to cut its budget by a fifth over 4 years.
We now know that the economy is growing at a slower rate than was originally thought. I've come to Birmingham to find out what businesses need to help them grow.
As the National Trust reaches a record 4 million members, why are some critics accusing it of Disneyfying Britain's heritage?
As doctors warn of a tidal wave of weight-related sleep disorders, we'll be hearing how one sufferer found relief from her problems.
And Carol has the weather.
And it's a chilly start to the day today. In fact, it's going to be a chilly day right the way through, with some blustery showers, gusty winds too, especially so in the northwest. But I'll have more on all of that in about 15 minutes.
Thanks, Carol.
Thank you.
Our main story this morning, Steve Jobs, the man who brought the world the iPod and the iPhone, has died at the age of 56. He'd been ill for several years and had been treated for pancreatic cancer.
He was the co-founder, of course, of the technology giant Apple, but stepped down as chief executive in August because of health problems. Apple's new boss, Tim Cook, said they had lost a visionary and creative genius.
And we coming in, but Graham Dilley came out and made 50 when we all thought it was lost, and it's a real sad loss, because he was not necessarily a vivacious character, a quiet character, but everybody loved him. Known in the trade as Picker.
Really?
Piccadilly.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much, Chris.
Oh, Chris, thank you.
Right, let's take a look at our papers. A lot of them focusing, of course, on the Prime Minister's speech from yesterday at the Tory Party conference. Here he is in The Guardian, telling Britain to show some fight as the economy flatlines. A picture of the father of Josie Russell. Remember, her mother and I think his sister were murdered, and she was very badly attacked. And it turns out that his phone may have been hacked. He's suing News International.
The photograph of the Prime Minister and his wife on the front of the Independent this morning as well. A rallying call is how the paper describes his speech yesterday. They have an exclusive here, though. The General Secretary of the TUC held private talks in Manchester this week with 4 senior ministers, including the Chancellor, in an attempt to avert the one-day strike, which is planned for next month.
The Eye has Cameron calling for the can-do spirit of Britain. The Mirror has a very different take of it. Downturn Britain. They've got him with Highclere Castle there. PM Cameron ignores the pain of real people and offers no hope and no answers. And that is Nick Clegg.
Dressed as?
Dressed as...
Lady Mary?
Yes.
Is it?
No,
Cora?
Yes.
Is it?
Sorry, your Downton knowledge is much more up to speed than mine.
I'm not sure I should be proud of that. The Times this morning, and they're looking at something which the Times has championed, which is the campaign to change the way that the adoption rules and regulations work. David Cameron calling it a scandal that thousands of children are still lost in the care system.
Inside the Daily Mail, you know how things come out of nowhere on the road, just out of nowhere, out of nowhere. Damage
Little tiny potholes that can just knock you off course.
Well, like that one. Here you are. This is the A320 working to Chertsey Road in Surrey, now shut for repairs. Poor driver got into a deep puddle after the flooded road collapsed.
Okay, so it was the water on the road made the road collapse, and then the poor old driver ended up in that rather nasty...
Yes, don't know whether he drove into that hole or whether it was there and just sort of started sinking down. Maybe, who knows, but obviously...
But he or she got out?
Oh, yes, they were safe, yes.
With wet ankles,
the Vauxhall,
no doubt.
Yes, driver was unhurt.
Also from the Daily Mail, I just want to share with you a story this morning, why wives hate the mother-in-law. Now, I think this is down here. It's a bit sad, I think. The stereotype suggests that husbands can't bear mother-in-laws, but apparently, according to a survey from Net Mums, some wives feel the same. 1 in 4 despises their mother-in-law and believes she's controlling and interfering. Now, the founder of Net Mums has said mums feel mother-in-law looks down on them, criticises their parenting skills and interferes in their relationship. But I'm very glad to say, at the end, she says, however, mother-in-laws can be a huge support, especially for new mums, and more than ever they're helping families out by taking on childcare responsibility. So mums who feel annoyed with their mother-in-law, don't forget, you might one day be...
Need them for babysitting.
Mother-in-law yourself.
Those are the front pages and the insides. Time is now 17 minutes past 6.
So time to have a look at our headlines this morning. Steve Jobs, the man who made Apple the most valuable company in the world, has died at the age of 56.
And the Bank of England will decide this morning whether to inject tens of billions of pounds into the economy after figures showed growth was at a virtual standstill.
Still to come on Breakfast this morning, how should we be dealing with our credit cards? After the confusion at the Conservative conference yesterday, Paul Lewis will be here to talk through the options.
First is Carol with the weather. A lot of leaves off the trees this morning.
Absolutely, Billy. It was very windy yesterday and last night and today as well. And it's also a rather chilly start to the day. And it's going to be chilly all the way through the day, accompanied by blustery showers. Now, what's causing all of this are a couple of weather fronts.
Well, we've seen this whole process, and now it is sort of incumbent on me. I'm not drinking cider, but this is about as fresh apple juice as you could want. And it is delicious. I was going to say it's appley, but I'll go for delicious.
All right. And refreshing and vivacious. Good. Thanks very much.
Appley would certainly have been accurate. OK, a couple of emails on this. Sandra from Surrey. Thank you, National Trust, for taking the dust sheets off and bringing history back to life. I wish things had changed sooner before my children were turned off by keep off everything notices.
Yeah, Joanne says we've been members of the National Trust for almost a year. We'll definitely renew our membership because it makes for educational and enjoyable days out. But
this emailer says, with reference to the item, I'm appalled the National Trust has resorted to short-termism in what they have allowed people to touch. Artefacts being touched, bouncing on antique beds. They should be preserving these items for future generations, not participating in their destruction.
Thank you very much indeed for all those messages. Coming up, the BBC News Channel has the latest news from home and abroad.
Still to come on Breakfast, though, the actor Will Ferrell is going to be here to talk about his new film and some of his previous roles, including one as the legendary TV anchorman Ron Burgundy.
Yes, perhaps you can give us some tips. Some of us have been modelling ourselves on him for years. You really think I broadcast like that? Time now to get news, travel and weather where you are in San Diego.
Stay classy.
Take it easy out there.